everybody, and today we have with us again our lovely Tatiana Ivleva-Lopez from Prosperity Home Mortgage. Hello, my friend.
Hey, Tatiana.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. This week's Mortgage Minute. I'm excited. It's been a bit. All right. Tell us what's going on.
It's been a while. Yeah, let me tell you what's going on. So, rates are actually at all-time lows in 2024.
Okay.
We got for the last week, they remain steady. We didn't do this mortgage minute for a couple of weeks, so the rates are around 6.68 for 30-year fixed, and jumbo is almost the same. Remember a few weeks ago, well, you can see here actually in July, the jumbo is light blue and 30-year fixed is in red. The jumbo was much higher, so now they're right next to each other, and 6.7 interest rate, and government loans, FHA, VA, they're always lower at 6.38. So
that's fantastic about the jumbo.
Yeah, and so the rates for a couple of weeks they remain steady, low, in all times in 2024. And September interest rate cut is now teed up, and Fed minutes released on Wednesday, they said that vast majority of policymakers felt that if data came in as expected, the September cut was likely to be appropriate, that is going to happen. So let's see what actually the predictions are. And again, so we remember that Fed cuts prime rate, it's really not directly affects mortgage rates, but indirectly, depends on the commentary. Of course, it's gonna have effect temporarily on the mortgage rates. They're probably gonna drop just for a moment, and they just gonna correct themselves back up again. So if somebody is buying right now, at the time when it all happens, maybe they want to, when the rate drops, they want to lock it in, and not to wait for anything better. That's what I would do, because typically it drops, but then it goes back up again, bounces back up. So, but let's see what the predictions are for the rest of 2024. So Freddie Mac is saying the rates will remain elevated through the most 2024. The mortgage gain giant expect that mortgage rates remain at around 6.5% and through the end of the year, and then descend below 6.5% in 2025. Fannie Mae thinks that rates will average at 6.8 in the third quarter and 6.7 in the fourth quarter, and that they forecast the downward trend will continue into the next year, and the 30-year fixed rate will average at 6.5 in first quarter of 2025. So they kind of think the same as Freddie Mac, right? NAR, National Association of Realtors, think that rates will average 6.9 in the third quarter, and they forecast that fourth quarter rates will be between 6.5 to 6.75. And finally, the Mortgage Banker Association thinks that rates will average 6.8 in the third quarter, and then it will trend down. So it will then land at 6.6 in the fourth quarter, and they think that it will go down next year to 6.4. So it's not going to be humongous drop. Nobody thinks that that's what's going to happen. So they're going to be in mid-6. Now I am quoting some clients, and rates have the rates are different for a lot of people, because there's a lot of things involved in rates, even the location of the property, and down payment, of course, credit score, things like that. So some clients get 6.625 interest rate quotes right now on
Okay.
30-year fixed. It's typically the first-time buyers, and there's also limitations for some on the maximum income. You know, if you make more money, they lose some lower rate adjustments. So yeah, that's where we at right now.
Okay. My
Yeah.
money's on the MBA. If I had to choose which one I think is most right, even though they're all so close, I'm going Mortgage Bankers Association.
I like it.
Before that one popped up, I was with Fannie Mae.
Yeah, I like it. So are you seeing any refis coming in at this point?
Well, I see people asking about the refis, but really, you know, if it's not government loans, it's right now really does not make sense.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Yes, we see some govies, FHA, VA refinancing, but you know, I ran few scenarios for people, and the difference in break even point is over 30 months, and people just don't want to do it yet.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it would make much sense
Not,
yet.
not at this point.
Not
Yeah.
yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and especially people are waiting for all this rates
Yeah.
thing, so they just want to wait a little bit longer, which is fine. Yeah.
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 It's better like this. I think
And not wait to buy
soon.
a house.
No, buy the house now.
Wait to refinance, but don't wait to buy,
That's right.
because the
Yeah,
property
because what's
price-
gonna happen? They all gonna jump and start, you know, offering
Yeah.
more, and there's gonna be more competition.
That's right.
Right.
Inventory's already started going down in the last week.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
yeah, there we go.
Okay. All right. Any questions or anything?
No, but I'm excited to talk about
Yes.
one of our mutual clients.
So I want to talk specifically about, well, it's going to be a case study. So I'm a little bit of background on my side, and I want you to tell your side of the story.
Yeah, we got to work with Tatiana on this one.
Yes, yes. So I got a call from a friend, a past client actually, introduced us to this client, and the concern was that this client, she said she's really frustrated with the current agent and lender, and she needs help. Can you guys help her? So I got on the phone with her, had a conversation with her, and she had been working. She had met another agent at some seminar or something.
Like a first-time home buyer.
Yeah, and she had been working kind of with that agent and with a lender that agent had referred to her for a period of about a year. And she'd been paying off a bunch of debts because the lender said, just keep paying off debts and we'll see what your credit score does. And so she had been doing this for about a year and had paid off a bunch of debts and kept calling the lender. They, you know, she said they never followed up with her. She kept calling the lender and she never got any good news. The credit score was not improving for her to be able to qualify for a mortgage. So I introduced her to you. And here we are a month and a half, I think maybe 2 months later, and not only gotten her pre-approved, but she is scheduled for 4 o'clock today, God willing, to sign and settle on her property.
Yeah.
So we're all praying for that to happen. So how did you go about doing this? When she had been on a path for a year, how did you go about in a period of a month, because she's been on a contract for a month?
Her score had not changed in that whole year working with another lender, and then you had her.
Yeah. So how did you turn this around for her and get her what she was looking for?
Yeah, so so her score was lower than it needs to be to get well, actually it was within, for FHA financing, you can have 580 credit score to qualify. However, when we run a decision engine, it's very sophisticated program that analyzes everything, the whole file, the credit, and I couldn't get an approved decision with that credit score. So we needed to increase it. And, you know, the sweet spot is going to be over 600, 620 credit score is going to be much better than below 600. So what I did, I pulled her credit, and we use program that analyzes what needs to be done to increase the score. It's a credit simulator program that tells me exactly what needs to be done and what is success rate of that score to go to the goal score and how long it will take. So, you know, I just plug numbers in. I need the score to be 620 plus, and, you know, I need it immediately. So the program told me, here are 3 credit cards that she needed to pay down. Even she didn't have to pay them all off. She needed to pay them down to a certain balance. And, you know, to kudos to her, she really listened and she did
Yes.
exactly what I told her to do. That makes a huge difference too, because,
Yep.
you know, if system tells me the balance needs to be $10, you'll be surprised if you put 0 instead of 10, the score will go down. So there it needs to be a sweet spot there, and the system knows exactly, and it tells me the balance needs to be $10. I had a situation when before with different clients, when I tell them you need to have this $325 weird balance in there, but they think, oh, it's just $325 less, I'm just gonna pay it all off. But then it actually does opposite. It lowers their credit score.
Yeah.
Doesn't help. So, but she did exactly what I told her. She
Well,
provided.
and she actually asked me at one of the tours, she said, hey, I'm about to pay off my car. Do you think it'll help my score? And I said, do not touch that payment. Call Tatiana. And she called you and you said, don't do it. You said, keep that cash, use it for settlement because it'll actually lower the score. So you're right. She followed every instruction.
Everything.
Yeah.
She did. And so when she sent me confirmations of new balances, I sent them in to the company that we use as a, you know, third party between us and all 3 credit bureaus, and they did manual rescore. They didn't wait until months later when score goes up by itself. So they did the rescore within, I think, 48, 72 hours. We already had business hours. We already had 620 plus credit score.
Wow.
And I was able to, I had to play with numbers in there. I had to actually, I couldn't get approved decision right away. I had to actually increase her reserves. She needed to show that she had some money left after she brings whatever she needs to bring to settlement. She has some cushion in there. So I, you know, I played with it for an hour or more, figuring out that I needed her to show 5 months of worth of mortgage payment left in her account, and that it worked. So here we go. She's settling today.
That is awesome. And I want to give you a ton of credit here because you just said you spent an hour playing on this file. If we have an issue with a client or we have a new client, I'll send them to you and you're on the phone with them within 5 or 10 minutes. You are a very, very busy person. You have a lot of files that you're juggling. And for you to be able to go and spend an hour on one specific file for a very small transaction, this is not a large transaction. This is a very small first-time home buyer transaction. You gave that the same attention you would a $4 million transaction.
Yeah.
So kudos to you for doing that. And that just shows the passion that you have for each and every client, no matter what the transaction size is.
Well, thank you so much. No, yes, absolutely. It doesn't matter what the loan amount is or who it is, what gender, or it doesn't really matter. What matters is the person, right? And I wanted her to have a house, and I wanted to get her approved. Like, what the heck? We were working on it so hard, and you know, I needed her, and that's what I do. I like it. You know, it's creativity of.
The challenge.
When it's very easy, it's easy, right? When it's challenge, you try to wait, how do I make it work? I spent a couple of hours playing with decision engine and making it work, but it pays out, it works out, it's great. I love it. I have another one just settling on Tuesday, exactly the same situation. Well, almost. They actually had pretty good credit scores, like in high 600s, but I wanted them to be over 700 because the difference in mortgage insurance was like $300 a month. So it was just a better deal for them, and it was possible for them to increase their score in short period of time to over 700. So they did the same thing, and it was pretty good as well.
That's awesome.
Well, we hit all the time on these videos about the people that we work with, like the other agents and then the loan officers and title companies, and the importance of those people that we refer our clients to and everything. And that speaks to exactly what we're talking about, as someone who doesn't see numbers or properties or timelines or whatever. They see
The
the
person.
person and the situation, and then really wants to make it all happen. And
Yeah.
that's one of the things.
Yeah.
That's
Bravo.
why we love
Bravo.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so I will certainly update you as soon as
Yeah.
the settlement happens in approximately 2 hours.
Yeah.
The seller is signing right now. So
Mhm.
assuming that happens, then we should
Yeah.
be good to go.
Oh, well, so if they're signing, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're hoping that POA is enough.
Right. So this was everybody. This was not like anything to do with the loan, or
Yep.
it was that we had a power of attorney that had to come all the way from China.
Yeah, and it got
So it was
delivered
shipping.
today.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
But 2 points
Yeah.
I want to make before I let everybody go is why this deal ended up working out so beautifully. Well, I don't know if that's what I want to say.
Well, I'm gonna give kudos to you guys too, because without you, it wouldn't happen, right? Because you took your time as well to help her, and you took on the challenge, and you connect her with right people, and you
Right.
found her right place, because you showed her few properties. It wasn't just
Yeah.
easy transaction for you either. And speaking of the situation with power of attorney coming from different country, and it was like right last moment, you had to get on the phone with the courier that I'm not gonna name for whatever purposes, but you got on the phone that it wasn't your client's power of attorney, it was different, the
Yeah.
sellers, but you took your time and you called it, you're trying to figure out how to make it work, where they need to go to pick up that power of attorney. And
Yeah.
bravo, I mean, you're wonderful, and
Thank you.
I
Yeah, that
can't
means
thank
a
you
lot.
enough for all your
Coming
business.
from the legend.
I'm
Well, and just
speechless.
imagine if we had if we had had her a year ago, it's like she wouldn't have spent that whole year paying off things that she probably didn't need to pay off. She
Mhm.
wouldn't have bought this year's prices. She would have bought at last year's price point
That's a good point.
and all of that.
It's hard
So,
telling what that cost her.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really, I think everything happens for a reason and at the right time.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad that we all got together now so that she's not paying next year's price.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah. And to her credit, she listened, like she did the pre-offer inspection.
Yeah.
She was all in on that. She was every single thing
detail.
we told her, every single detail. She did it.
Every detail.
So she was a great client.
Yeah, I love this whole group is really, really great.
Yeah.
So we're all gonna woo, this afternoon.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you again for helping her. That was so
Thank you.
important. I've got some other challenging clients with you right now, so hopefully we can pull off another miracle and shoot another video with them. But we'll see how it turns out.
We'll see how this one goes.
Yeah. All right.
Have a good day.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Bye.